Heather McLaren from Long Realty in Tucson, Arizona with your Friday update. Today we are on site here with Aaron Rice of Southern Arizona Plumbing, and we're going to find out a little bit more about why should we be worried about sewer lines and why does this matter even if you have a new home. So let's check in with Aaron and see what he has to say about sewer line health and the importance as a homeowner. Years old. What do you think about?
So, you know, we do probably 300 of these a month, roughly. So I find just as many problems in the new houses as I do the old ones.
Okay.
I find just as many problems with no trees in the yard as I do with trees in the yard.
Oh, okay.
Like, if a pipe is leaking, a tree across the street will find that source, the source of moisture.
Oh, okay.
Septic systems, there's no difference between the house being on septic or county sewer. The only difference is the destination point.
Oh,
so
like how far away?
Well, yeah, septic, everything on the house side is the same, but it's going into a big concrete box.
Oh, okay.
Versus connecting into a county sewer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tell realtors, you know, every house that a buyer is going to possibly purchase, it's worth $100 to save them $10,000 in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Just because the home inspector runs everything in the house and everything's flowing doesn't mean there's not a problem in a sewer, because the water will flow through a very little opening.
Oh, yeah. No, that makes sense.
A lot of people that, you know, have 100-foot sewer lines and they're full roots.
Yeah.
Well, they'll fill it up during the day, go to work, and it drains out, and they come home and use it, and everything's fine.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't mean there's not an issue in the sewer.
Right, right.
As far as, you know, like roots in the line or cast iron pipe like this one with a crack in it, we can descale it, we can jet it, we can re-sleeve it. Exterior lines, we can do the same thing too. But $100 is a pretty good peace of mind to know that there's not going to be an issue.
Do you think sellers, would benefit from knowing ahead of time? I mean, I try to encourage them when I'm representing them to consider that, because then they can plan their strategy on how to market their house.
So the thing with sellers is they don't want to find a problem, but if you know as prominent as sewer inspections are getting, you know, I tell sellers the same thing. It's like, you know, find the problem before the house is under contract, and then I come along and find a problem, and then your house falls through.
Right.
So, but a lot of sellers aren't wanting to do that because the next person might not have a sewer inspection, and they might save a few $1,000s if there's a problem.
Yeah, it is kind of a gamble. I mean, I always tell folks, please consider doing that, because what sometimes people will do when they're negotiating as buyers is they'll come in, they'll find something wrong with the sewer, a little thing with the roof, this, and they don't want to negotiate repairs. They'll just ask for $5,000 off the house or $10,000 off the house. Whereas if you knew about it ahead of time and you spend $800 fixing it, then they lose their negotiation power. So pre-home inspections is always an option for you, but you can always just put it up and see what happens. But sometimes it gives you more leverage. But if you are a home seller and you have inspections beforehand, you do then have to disclose what you know about your property. So that's something to consider too. But most of the time sellers find that beneficial, because then they come to the table and say, look, I know the roof needs to be replaced in 7 years. I did this on the sewer. I did all these other repairs, and that's why we priced it this way. And then it takes away your buyer's leverage to negotiate lower. So
yeah, and I always tell my guys too, you know, I have a couple guys help me doing sewer inspections. Always give 3 or 4 options.
Yeah.
When a house is for sale, it's all negotiating factor. Yeah, they might not want to spend $10,000 on a sewer liner or whatever the cost is, but they'll do the $500 hydrojet and get all the roots out and buy them some time, at least get the house sold.
Right.
So we always put a bunch of options on there, and then it's up to the discretion of you guys negotiating to whatever fits both sides.
Well, and that's why I always appreciate Southern Arizona Plumbing. And this is Aaron Rice, the owner of Southern Arizona Plumbing, who's here with us today. Say hi to Aaron, everybody. So because they will be very honest and direct with you. They will come in and be like, here's the situation, here's what's going on. You know, you don't necessarily have to do it, but if you don't do it, this and this could happen. If you do want to do it, here's a quick fix, but in 3 months you're going to need to do more. Here are the different levels of options. Here's the actual repair, and here's if you just want to upgrade to more of a modern situation. So you'll have your choice of options, and you'll know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, some clients are really harped on getting the sewer fixed and not worrying about anything in the house that might be bad, and some clients are like, well, there's some roots in the line, let's just clean them out and fix the other important stuff.
Right.
So if we just give an option of replacement every time,
Right.
then it doesn't make sense to anybody.
Well, and not everybody realizes this, but your home warranty that you may be purchasing or your seller may be buying for you doesn't cover sewer lines. So, and lots of times sellers don't know what's going on in there. They didn't withhold. They just didn't know there was an issue. Maybe there wasn't an issue a few years ago when they moved in.
Yeah, and I work with a bunch of flippers, and they're starting to see, you know, they're flipping houses, and guess what? Aaron's showing up and doing an inspection after it's flipped, and they need a bunch of work done. Now they're hiring me pre-flip.
Oh, that's smart.
And then they get the line clean, repairs, and then it doesn't, you know, interfere with their contract later down the road.
Right.
Yeah, and I work with a lot of home inspectors too, and you know, they pass out my name because, you know, they can't see what's under the ground. It's always seems to be the home inspector's fault.
Right.
You know, they run everything in the house, everything's draining fine. Well, several months back I did one on the north side. You know, everything's running fine in the house. People have lived there 30 years.
Yeah.
The sewer line wasn't even connected.
Right.
But they've never had a backup.
Right.
You just never know.
Wow.
No, backups are a number of things. Usually backups are caused by roots, a ton of grease going down the drain. You know, we hydro scrub a lot of main sewer lines that are full of grease. You know,
grease.
Some people think their garbage disposal is a wood chipper. You know, it's there's a lot of scenarios that go into a backup. Large amounts of toilet paper, flushable wipes that aren't flushable, stuff like that.
So this is water coming from anywhere in the house out to the main sewer line.
Correct. The drain line is anything you use inside of the house that is exiting the house. Fresh water is what's going into the fixtures that then dump into your main sewer line.
Well, and right now we are at a townhome where the HOA covers a large chunk of the sewer line, and that happens in townhomes and condos. But what some people don't know is most associations, you are responsible as the owner up to a certain amount. Like in this one, I think it was pretty much under the home that they were responsible for. And that is where we ended up finding an issue today, right, Aaron?
Yeah, like, I mean, this is a perfect example. Like cast iron, every cast iron main line I see with scale in it, I'm going to recommend it be descaled and jetted and re-inspected because I can't tell if there's a crack underneath that scale layer. Just like in this one, it's got a big scale layer, but that crack is pretty large. It's pretty evident it's a crack.
Sure.
But if we were to re-sleeve that line, I would still have to descale and jet it to make the liner go in.
Well, what happens if people aren't in a situation to do these repairs and they just kind of let it go and then they sell their house in 20 years or something? I mean, are they going to have to go in and replace all those pipes, or what's going to happen to deterioration if they just can't keep up, or you don't know about it?
Exactly. I mean, cast iron, I've seen 100-year-old cast iron look great, and I've seen 50-year-old cast iron look horrible.
Yeah.
It's just kind of luck of the draw and what goes down the drains. You know, Drano, all that stuff with these old cast iron pipes, I wouldn't recommend.
What is your advice about homeowners and like large trees? Do you have any?
So, most realtors will only call me if there's a tree in the yard.
Oh, okay.
And if, like I said, if that pipe is leaking, if the clay joints have worn out and the bushing is leaking, most likely there's going to be roots in there. If the plumber didn't put his ABS pipe together, there's going to be roots in there most likely. And it could be, I find just as many problems in sewer lines with no trees in the yard as I do with trees in the yard.
What do you recommend?
Roots go for the moisture. So like say if this clay line had a bunch of roots in it, what I would do is hydrojet it, get the pipe nice and clean, shoot a sleeve down this clean out and coat that pipe. It creates a pipe inside of your current pipe that prevents, you know, full line excavation, and then it takes the moisture source away from the trees. That way they don't penetrate the pipe anymore.
Right, so it doesn't keep happening.
And it comes with a 50-year warranty.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So the tree roots aren't going for the pipes, they're only sensing water if there's already a crack.
Correct.
Okay. And if you're a homeowner, do you recommend like every so often getting your line scoped, or what do you think? I mean,
if they buy a house and there isn't an issue, then I don't see it necessary to scope it until they resell it maybe.
Okay.
Or if I find an issue and they don't want to deal with it at that time, I would recommend a yearly inspection just to see the progress of of how bad it is getting, or if it's staying the same.
Okay. Well, and I'll say it again, but I love how you always give my clients lots of options, because I've worked with different folks, and you know, everybody's in a different situation, and so it really helps to have the quick fixes and the like getting it done right over the long term. Okay, well, and for buyers, this is important information because you can negotiate that as part of your deal. You can ask for the sewer line to be repaired, or so much off the price, or They can even do a thing sometimes, it depends on your lender and title company, but sometimes they'll let you even do like sort of a holdback, well, not technically a holdback, but where they basically cut a check at closing for you, the sellers, to pay the plumber to do it after you take ownership of the home. So
yeah, we work with a lot of escrow companies too. We've run into situations where, you know, the escrow company or the buyer seller agree on, okay, I'm going to credit, you know, $1,500 towards plumbing.
yeah.
And then they want the bigger option, which is resleeving the sewer.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
smart.
I allow them to take that whatever they offered them from escrow and then apply it towards the bigger amount. And then, you know,
Right.
buying a house, you know, it's obviously a chunk of change. So we do have some
Right.
financing options at low interest rate, and that way they can get the solution that they want and not have to deal with it.
That's great.
So we work a lot with escrow companies and clients.
I didn't realize that. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today and helping us understand a little bit more. I just want to make this information available to the public for buyers and sellers and even homeowners, just to know. A lot of people don't realize, or they purchase their house in an unusual way sometimes, foreclosure, auction, they got it from a relative, different situations, and they didn't always go through the formal process of having all the inspections. And so it might not be a bad idea, right? $100, find out what's going on. So thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Aaron, thanks for being here. And you can just call Aaron. Can you give me your contact info?
It's 520-303-8000. It's pretty easy.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
that is
easy
easy
number.
to remember. Okay, and you guys are there. What are your hours?
24/7.
Awesome. I love to hear that.
We
24/7.
work with
Okay.
We work with several home warranties like 210, Landmark, Choice, American Home Shield, just a bunch of different warranty companies. So
Oh, great.
We do a lot of home warranty stuff too, and they do not cover stuff outside the foundation.
Yeah,
So
it's important to have us checked out. So, well, thank you so much. These are big numbers we're talking about, so it's good to know the health of your sewer lines if you're going to be a homeowner. So, thank you so much. You guys stay tuned for next week's Friday update, and thanks for tuning in for this week. We're going to be on site at another unexpected location next week, so stay tuned and please like or subscribe. Thank you.